What's up, yins, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fishing PA with Ryan Reed. It's May 13th, 2018, and I just looked at my weather app and realized we're supposed to get 7 straight days of thunderstorms. Now, I've spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks talking about New York and Lake Chautauqua in particular, so I promise this is my last video for a while on Lake Chautauqua in New York. We're going to get back to talking about PA and our lakes here very, very soon. However, I promised that I would do this video, and I wanted to make sure that I got this taken care of. Now, when I was in New York, around Lake Chautauqua, we were struggling to find a fairly solid bait shop. One of the bait shops that's kind of the go-to while we're there is Hogan's Hut. Now, Hogan's Hut has been there for quite some time. However, my experience there this past couple of weekends was somewhat lacking. They have a good selection. However, the staff there, when the owner wasn't at the bait shop, there were a bunch of younger kids that really didn't have a full understanding of fishing or an understanding of what to actually use around the lake. So that posed a bit of an issue for me, being that my first time up there was a few weekends ago. However, with that said, I stumbled upon this place called Chautauqua Reel Outdoors. Chautauqua Reel Outdoors is actually owned by Mike Sperry, who is also a guide in the Chautauqua area. And I just want to show you guys that. Get a quick snapshot of that. When I walked into Chautauqua Reel Outdoors, I quickly realized this wasn't a typical bait shop for that area. Now, Mike had a wide variety of lures, and he had a lot of musky lures in particular, which was what I was interested in. However, he also had a good selection of walleye lures. He had a good selection of bass rigs and lures, and he also had a good selection of live bait. One of the things that I talked to Mike about while I was there was Chautauqua and the different times of year, and I was trying to get a full understanding of what you should fish for around certain times of the year. Mike was extremely helpful. So I wanted to just do this review on Reel Outdoors, and I wanted to tell you guys that if you're looking for a bait shop in the Chautauqua area, you guys have to check out Reel Outdoors and talk to Mike Sperry. Now, Mike is a guide. He's been around since the mid-70s. He's been fishing Chautauqua as a child, and he's caught a ton of muskie. But one of the highlights that he offers is he does spring crappie fishing up on Chautauqua, and it's fairly reasonably priced. So for, a couple $100, you guys can get a pretty awesome experience out on Lake Chautauqua fishing for crappie. So with that said, take a look at Chautauqua Reel Outdoors Guide and Tackle. Mike does a great job running the bait shop. He's very knowledgeable, and I think he's going to be a very prime choice for your guide service around Chautauqua Lake. Now, I know typically I talk about Todd Young. Todd has an awesome guide service, and he does a lot of different seminars throughout the year, but I thought Mike was very comparable to his knowledge, and I just really enjoyed talking to Mike. I thought it was awesome, and it rained a few days when we were there. I went in there a couple different times. It was no problem. And so my experience with Chautauqua Reel Outdoors was a 10 out of 10, I gotta tell you. Couple things that I want to mention too about Mike and his business. He also does Smiling Jack lures. They're handmade wooden jerk baits. He does a lot of custom worm harnesses and a lot of custom leaders and that sort of thing. So one thing that really stood out to me with Mike and some of his custom baits was the Woolly Bully Bucktail that Mike created. And if you guys can see that, he's got good hair on this. He's got the feathers and these big giant blades. Now, I went with the gold and the brown here. This looks like just a fantastic bucktail, and I think I'm going to use this a lot when we get into summer and fall. But the Woolly Bully bucktails, they're reasonably priced. They're very high quality bucktails from what I can tell. And, Mike really does just a good job talking about using these and when to use them. So One of the things I wanted to mention to you guys is if you go up to Chautauqua Reel Outdoors, can't get up there on site, check out their website, the Woolly Bully Bucktail by Mike Sperry. So just to recap, Mike has spent a ton of time on the water up in Lake Chautauqua. He's also fished with Pete Mena. So for those of you guys that require that sort of credential for your guide service, Mike definitely has it. So Mike also has 30 plus years of experience fishing the lake. And, he helped me catch my first largemouth bass just by simply making a recommendation to me on a specific technique to use this time of year up there. So I was super pumped again to do a quick review to show you guys that Chautauqua Reel Outdoors is the real deal. It's a great little bait shop. It's a great place to get some information, and it's an awesome place to hook up with an awesome guide in Mike Sperry. So if you guys get an opportunity to fish New York and Lake Chautauqua, make sure you check out Chautauqua Reel Outdoors, talk to Mike, get yourself set up with a fantastic trip on a fantastic lake. If you guys like what you're seeing, please like the video below. If you like the content overall, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys very much. Take care.